It's Thomas Mulready from Cool Cleveland, and we're here today with Katie Spotz. Katie, thank you so much for taking time to talk with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
First of all, you are, I guess you call yourself an endurance athlete. Is that a good term for it?
Yep, endurance athlete and charity ambassador. So,
There you
yeah.
go. That's great. Um, and what's fascinating to us, of course, at Cool Cleveland is you were from the Cleveland area. You grew up in these parts?
Yeah, Cleveland will always be home for me. I am in the Coast Guard, so I have been um, transferred here in Portland, Maine for the next couple of years. But yeah, born and raised in Cleveland area, and definitely the metro parks like the Emerald Necklace was my old stomping ground, going and training through all those beautiful parks. And so, yeah.
Beautiful. So you started in high school, it sounds like. Was there a moment where you started to do these kind of endurance things, or did it just come out of like cross country, or what started it for you?
I definitely consider myself to be kind of like an accidental athlete, just because in my senior year of high school, I had to take one more gym class. And by process of elimination of didn't want to do the team sports, all I wanted was an easy A. And that left me with walking and running. So I was like, oh yeah, I can walk. And after a week of walking, I'm like, this is a little boring. Maybe I could try to run. And so I set a target, something that I was definitely on the side of why would I run? Why would anyone do that if they don't have to? Like, and so I did set a target of running 1 mile, and it wasn't pretty. Like, I definitely my approach to running 1 mile was I'm just going to do it as fast as I can, just because I don't know if I can make it the whole distance. I like pacing myself. That was definitely not a thing, and because I was so afraid I couldn't do it. But yeah, I was very winded. I didn't really find a groove, but I was really excited to do something I never thought I could. And so with that first mile, um, which, arguably could be the hardest, just like starting a new journey. And so if it wasn't for doing that measly 1 mile, I wouldn't be attempting to run 130 plus miles today. So I guess that's just an important part of my journey, because it's easy to say, oh my gosh, this girl's running 130 miles. That's like way beyond. But I started the same place everyone does, and that's one step. And so, yeah.
Right. So you also did this crossing. You say the rowing across the Atlantic, youngest person to do that solo. That kind of freaks me out. The thought that you would be out there all alone. And I was asking somebody today or telling them about it, and they said, "Oh, she had all these boats around her or something." There were all
Oh,
kinds
yeah.
of,
Yeah, they always do that. They're like,
yeah.
oh, yeah.
I said, I don't think so. You tell me. What was that like? I mean,
So there wasn't a follow boat, there wasn't a helicopter. It was completely unsupported, meaning I had all the supplies on my boat. If I had a support vehicle, I probably would have quit. I probably would not have been successful if I knew I could just snap my fingers and I'd have sleep and I'd have a bed and it'd all be over. There were times where I was so depleted and so tempted to quit. If I knew I could quit and it would be easy to do that, I would have done that because of how challenging it was. I definitely like prepared as if I was like going into space. It was all very new to me, and I was very I was very worried, because it's like you go on a long weekend trip and you're worried you forget your contact solution or something. And then when you're planning for potentially 3 months, if you forget something, it's like, uh, but I knew when you break it all down, you need water, you need food, you need oars. And so I've definitely learned to kind of like prioritize certain things. But if I could do it all again, I would bring a beanie bag chair, because like the boat was constantly moving, and I would like pack myself into bed at night just to minimize like the movement. And like flying fish would hit the side of my cabin and wake me up in the middle of the night. And so sleeping was, yeah, it was a nightmare. Like I could never sleep very well on that boat. So I would have really liked to like wedge and pack myself into bed to.
I'm sure you've learned a lot over these. You've done, running, you've done biking, you've done the rowing. So it seems like you're just always up for a challenge. Your next big one is this 130-mile run across the state of Maine that no one's ever really done before. And you just said you were out running just now to sort of get ready for this. What are you prepping? How do you prep for 130 miles?
So today it was a 34-mile run. So that took like 5.5 hours. It's usually like 10-minute miles for the long runs. And then like as build up for Maine, I also ran across New Hampshire and Vermont. So Vermont was last weekend and it was a 74-mile run. So that took about 13 hours. And then New Hampshire was back in June, and that was 62 miles or about 11-hour run. But now that the run, like the big run across Maine, is a couple weeks away, really it's tapering. So it's about 2 or 3 weeks before a big event that you gradually decrease. So today was my last ultra marathon before the event. Next week will be like 25 miles. So, and then the week after that, it will be like the longest run will be 19. So I'm definitely just, recovering from all the damage and breakdown of my muscles that as a result of training. But it's been really fun. Like it's a fun way to, and because Maine, like New Hampshire and Vermont are safe states for us. It's a fun way to explore. It's I love using running and endurance as a way to adventure and to see new places.
You say you're motivated both on the physical level to achieve these things, but also you're always raising money for charity. You've been working lately with Life Water, and this is so important. So talk about what Life Water does and how your work helps them.
So I've never had to drink dirty water in my life, and yet 1 in 10 people can't say that sentence. And the water crisis is a big problem in our world, and yet solutions are available for as little as $60 can help one person get clean water for life. So I think, myself and most people, I think there's some kind of cause that really pulls at your heart and really is like, it just never felt right to me that, when we have cars and we have cell phones and we have so much wealth, it never felt right in my core to know that people were suffering and struggling with something as basic as water, with all the technological advances. And so Life Water has helped 2.5 million people get clean water. They've been around for 40 years. They have a track record. And I think, like most people, sometimes it's even more fun to give to charity when you could see the results. And so, if you think about the last $60 you spent, maybe it's gas or food or bills, and you have to pay for those, and those are important, but it's also cool to know that small of an investment can really impact someone's life for their entire life.
You plan to be back in the Cleveland area anytime in the future? Any plans to be running or biking through here or rowing Lake Erie? I don't know.
Not any like big endurance challenges, but my friends are all and family are all there, so hopefully I'll be able to go to one of my friends' weddings that's coming up in a couple months.
Well, stay in touch. Good luck with Maine. Is there a big goal after Maine?
Yeah, I usually only take it one at a time, but like, I don't know. I was running with some friends today and someone was rollerblading by and I was like, yeah, that's the next one. Rollerblading across I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. If anyone wants to follow during the run. katiespotz.com, or on like social media, people can follow along for the big run in September.
Well, congratulations. Good luck with your training. And thank you for staying in touch with us here in Cleveland. And maybe we'll get a chance to see you do your thing in person someday. But keep up the good work. Thanks for taking a few moments here.
Thank you so much.
It's Thomas Mulready from Cool Cleveland. Be well and stay safe.